A major trade breakthrough is taking shape between India and the European Union, but it comes with a firm boundary. Agriculture is out of the deal. That message has now come directly from the top of the European Commission. EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has confirmed that the free trade agreement with India will exclude agriculture. She made this clear during a closed-door meeting with members of the European Parliament. She described the deal as a massive signal for global trade, but said the carve-out was decided from the very beginning. Von der Leyen and European Council President Antonio Costa will travel to India on January 27. The agreement will be signed with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Once finalized, this will become the European Union's largest trade deal, opening access to a market that represents nearly 1/4 of the world's population. From India's perspective, the exclusion of agriculture is critical. Farming remains politically and socially sensitive. Nearly 44% of India's workforce depends on agriculture for survival. Opening food markets to European competition has always been a red line. India has refused to cross it. Brussels had already accepted that key sectors like dairy and sugar would remain protected. These products are now officially excluded. European geographical indications for traditional foods are also not part of this agreement. This reflects New Delhi's insistence on safeguarding domestic interests. However, the deal is not a complete shutdown of food-related trade. India has agreed to reduce extremely high tariffs on European wine and spirits. Some duties currently touch 150%. Those will now be lowered. This signals compromise without surrender. Negotiations behind the scenes have picked up speed. Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal held a series of high-level meetings in Brussels earlier this month. Talks with EU Trade Commissioner Maroš Šefčovič stretched over 2 days. Both sides narrowed differences and issued clear political guidance to their negotiating teams.
Negotiations and how soon India can realistically expect a breakthrough. Also, what are the areas of divergence where more work is needed?
We just had the visit of the Trade Commissioner, my counterpart from the EU, Mr. Maroš Šefčovič. Monday, Tuesday, he was in Delhi. Before that, almost for a week, our teams were in active negotiations. Very substantive progress has been made in this round of discussions. In the first or second week of January, our teams will be meeting again. And around 8th, 9th January, I shall be engaging with Maroš again to take the dialogue forward. I would say that there's been significant progress, but obviously everything is dependent on crossing the finishing line. So it has to be 100% agreement, a win-win for both sides, a balanced agreement which ensures equal and relatively good future for the trade and investment on both sides. And we are working towards that. There will obviously be many areas of discussion, but I don't think there is any such issue which I would call a divergence. I would say there are discussions and negotiations going on.
External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has also underlined the importance of Europe in India's strategic outlook. He said countries are reassessing their interests. He added that common sense is bringing India and the European Union closer. He expects stronger engagement going forward.
Every country, every region is reassessing its interests, reassessing its calculations, and trying to see, okay, what is it we can do? In one way, how do we de-risk ourselves from the problems and challenges and the risks that are there, the unpredictability that there is there. On the other hand, say that, okay, it's not enough to de-risk, maybe we should be building closer friendships and deeper partnerships. So are there particular countries, particular relationships that we can trust more than others? And I think that common sense is today bringing India and the European Union much closer. So I can fairly confidently predict that 2026 will see upswing in ties with Europe. You will see, certainly I can speak for the Indian end of that, you will see a much greater investment of time and energy and attention on our part where Europe is concerned. It is an important relationship for a variety of reasons. One, of course, Luxembourg is at the heart of the European Union. It's a country which, because it has been there from the start, has a great influence on the Union, on the Union's decision. So at a time when we are seeking to ramp up that relationship with the EU, the support that Luxembourg can give us, the influence that it will have over the collective decision making in Brussels is really quite significant. And I was given really the fullest assurance that, as you know, we are right now in a very advanced stage of negotiating a free trade agreement. In other areas, whether it's technology, whether it's defense, connectivity, mobility, there is a lot that is happening with the European Union. But the influence of Luxembourg, and I think the goodwill of Luxembourg in support of the relationship.
For India, this trade deal sends a clear message. India is open to global commerce, but not at the cost of its farmers, not at the cost of social stability. Strategic engagement will happen on Indian terms. For the European Union, the deal offers access to one of the world's fastest growing major economies without triggering political backlash in New Delhi. It is a pragmatic compromise. This agreement is not just about trade numbers. It reflects shifting global equations, a world in transition, and an India that is confident, selective, and firm at the negotiating table.